Church of the River. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Kent Fisher. I use he, him pronouns. You are all welcome here today. In the rich assortment of languages, cultures, and hues, each contributing to the mosaic of our shared humanity, you are welcome here. In the various ways you navigate and express your gender, in the authenticity of your self-expression, you are welcome here. In the depth and breadth of your love, in the myriad forms it takes, you are welcome here. Whether your heart brims with laughter or weighs heavy with tears, in every emotion you bring to this sacred space, you are welcome here. So come, join us with open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands. Together we embark on this journey of community and connection. Together, you are welcome here today. Everyone is encouraged to engage with our soul work materials found on the bookshelf at the rear of the sanctuary. Many folks of all ages find that busy hands make for a calm body and a focused mind. Amen. As we settle in, please remember to silence all electronic devices. If you're new here, we are glad you found us and hope that in this community you may experience the warmth and love of this congregation. If you'd like to learn more about us, you can find our newcomer form by scanning the QR code in the order of service, and we invite you to pick up a welcome bag from the credenza in the back of the service. Mike's got in his hand there. Please take note of the announcements printed in your order of service, and you can also scan the QR code to see the full list of announcements in this week's newsletter. I now invite the music of our beautiful choir to draw us deeper into this moment as we enter into worship together.
Good morning. Okay, there we go. Welcome. We have a number of folks here who are traveling, who came in for the service yesterday, and also my sister is here visiting from Chicago, and so it's and we also have some folks who have returned following a period of absence or who are just now finding us and figuring out if this is home. So it is delightful that each week I see new faces. My name is Lynn Hopkins. It is my great honor to serve this congregation as its interim minister as we gather here on the edge of the beautiful Mississippi River, on the land of the Chickasaw and Quapaw peoples. Breathe deeply. I'd like to invite you into this hour of worship with words from James Luther Adams. We talked about the work of James Luther Adams this morning, in the class at 10 a.m. I invite anyone who's interested in Unitarian and Universalist thought and history to come join us. Drop-ins are welcome. James Luther Adams says this: I call that church free, which in covenant with the divine community-forming power brings the individual, even the unacceptable, into a caring, trusting fellowship that protects and nourishes his or her integrity and spiritual freedom. It is the goal. Its goal is the prophethood and the priesthood of all believers. The one for the liberty of prophesying, the other for the ministry of healing. It therefore protests against the infringement of autonomy or participation, whether it be in the church, the state, the family, the daily work, or the lack of it, or in other social spheres. I invite you now to speak with me our words of chalice lighting printed in your order of service. We light the chalice for the challenge of freedom, the goal of equality, and the warmth.
I invite you now to stand or sit, whatever's more comfortable for you, in singing the hymn 1051. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on this song because it's a little complicated. If you'll turn to 1051 in the Till hymnal, the first two lines you repeat. That's why there's a second ending. Beginning at the bottom, we are our grandmother's prayers. You sing that all the way through to the third page, third line down, and you repeat it. Then at the bottom of page 3, you carry on until you, till you get to the end of page 4, and you sing those last two lines on the end of page 4 4 times. How'd I do, Debbie? Not bad. Anyway, whatever. Stand if you're comfortable standing.
It's a little bit of a tricky one, but it's fun. Good morning, everyone. I am Jessica Lakeman. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as your Director of Lifespan Faith Development here at Church of the River. This morning, I have a story for you about two people who built a bridge. Once upon a time, there were two villages separated by a wide, rushing river. The people on one side thought that the people on the other side were a bit strange. They ate different foods, sang different songs, celebrated different holidays. Nobody really knew what was going on over there. After a while, they just stopped visiting one another altogether. They told stories to each other about how unfriendly those others were. And the longer they stayed apart, the truer those stories seemed to feel. One day, a person from one village walked down to the riverbank and began stacking stones. Someone called out, "Hey, what are you doing?" "I'm building a bridge," they said. "Why would you do that? Those people don't even like us." But the person just kept working, stone by stone, plank by plank. And finally, when they reached the middle of the river, they looked up and saw someone coming from the other side, carrying wood and rope and tools. That person smiled and hollered across, "I was thinking the same thing." Together, they finished the bridge. And the next day, people from both sides came to see. Some still grumbled, but others stepped forward, curious and hopeful, and began to cross. They learned new songs. They shared food. They told stories. And slowly, friendship grew between those villages, stronger than the river that once divided them. Our faith, Unitarian Universalism, is a bit like that bridge. It stretches between the wisdom of the past and the hope for the future, between different people and different ideas, different ways of seeing the world, mystery, and the divine. And when we build those bridges, person to person, heart to heart, we make something new together. I wonder what kind of bridge you might be building this week. Maybe a bridge of kindness, saying hello to someone new you encounter. Maybe a bridge of memory, asking an elder to tell a story from long ago. Maybe a bridge to the future, sharing your hopes for the world that you want to live in. But however you do it, remember that every time you reach out in love, you are helping to build the bridge that has between what has been and what can be. And now, friends, will you join me in blessing our young people as we send them off? Grown-ups, if you will raise your blessing hands in the air and repeat after me, you are beloved. You are sacred. You are powerful. Go in peace.
My reading this morning is from an article written by the Reverend Dr. Susan Frederick Gray, who is a past president of the Unitarian Universalist Association. We don't create any real positive impact alone. Community gives us strength. Love gives us courage. Remembering we are not alone. Remembering the people, the family, the community, the ancestors we belong to gives us resiliency and power to keep on loving. Keep on working for the values and commitments we hold dear. I suspect I'm not the only one who's ever wanted to give up. It's not just about the long haul work of justice making. I know there are times when, as members and leaders in our congregations, we want to give up. Disappointment is a part of human community. We come to expect it from our elected officials and from our workplaces, but it is far more painful, more personal, when we experience it within our spiritual community. Right alongside the power of we is the struggle of we. In movement and justice work, a shared commitment to a larger cause helps bond people together into a powerful we. One of the reasons that mission is so important to the health and vitality of a congregation. In the absence of mission, we can easily see ourselves as merely a collection of individuals. Purpose reminds us we are in it together. Within Unitarian Universalism, individualism has been a central unresolved tension in our theology and culture. In his essay, From iChurch to Beloved Community, the Reverend Fred Muir writes of the trinity of errors that have come to define Unitarian Universalism. They are individualism, exceptionalism, and our allergy to authority. Within Unitarian Universalism, for now, let's consider individualism. As an alternative to individualism, Muir offers an understanding of individuality. Individuality celebrates the very real differences between people without denying our fundamental interdependence. While individualism understands a person as separate, dependent on no one, individuality recognizes that each of us, varied as we are, exist within a context of mutuality, shared fate, and collective responsibility. In practice, mission and covenant are an antidote to individualism. They remind us of the responsibilities that come with an affirmation of interdependence. The power of we is not just about one event. It is a broader shift in our faith to move from individualism to a shared belonging to one another, to our communities, and to a larger mission. Especially in this difficult time in the country, staying committed is a challenge, but it is also essential to our efforts to dismantle long-term unjust structures and build liberating alternatives that nurture life and dignity and embody our values. This is an opportunity to engage nationally across our faith in theological reflection and deep listening. It is an invitation to be held by and renewed by the power of we.
Thank you, Reverend Lynn. Good morning. My name is Jake Harbour. I'm a member of the Canvas team, along with Ann Hawkins, Matt Holliday, and Bonnie Cook. Before I bring up Kent Fisher to give testimony for Canvas, I just wanted to explain the plan for the Canvas. It's a yearly campaign to get commitments for donations to the church. That will be given in 2026. And the total amount of pledges go towards funding the operations budget, including the minister and staff and the activities, operations, and upkeep of the church. We'll have Canvas speakers during each service while we're doing the Canvas. And we'll have a sunset cookout on November 15th. To enjoy our new deck and our patio. And then the last Canvas day will be December 7th with a special Covenant Sunday service and lunch afterwards. So today we have these paper chalices, and you all are welcome to write about what your favorite things are about Church of the River, why you love this church, and then you can also add your name, but it's optional. We'll post it up in the Mississippi River Room just to show all of our collective appreciation for this church and why this canvas matters, to keep it the lights on. So with that, I invite Kent Fisher to give testimony. Thank you.
Good morning again. So I grew up in the church. My mother was the church secretary through my whole life, Southern Baptist Church. We were poor. We were the family that people gave their hand-me-downs to. So when it came to giving, I tuned that part out because I knew our family was not one of those families. We were a giver of service. We gave service. We showed up on days to clean and cook. But in terms of giving financially, we didn't have that. When I left the church at 18, I didn't return to a church for over 20 years. I found the church not a safe place for a gay man. So I intended never to return to church until I became a father. And then when I had kids, I wanted them to have some sense of a church. By then, I had moved to Memphis. I'm not from here. And I wanted to find a church where 2 dads and 2 biracial children would feel welcome. I found a home here. I looked a lot. Was very careful. I did not want to go to a church where my kids got a message that their parents were not good parents or were going to hell. I wanted a church where my biracial children felt welcomed. I found a home here. I've stayed. My children have long since grown and gone on. I came for them. I stayed for myself. Last year, I believe Lisa Jennings, treasurer, said that there are 97 families, if I got that right, Lisa, if not, that contribute to this church. You know, when I came back as an adult, as a father, with a job and an income, I became a giver financially. I give what I can. I invite you to do the same. This church is a home for many of us that don't have a home. I ask that you give generously. I'll end with a quote that is one of my favorite. Don't know really where I got it. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I have. So it is.
Our practice of joys and sorrows is still fairly new to this congregation, so I'm going to do this introduction a few more times. In your pew or at the entrance is a blue slip of paper on which you are invited to write things that you are carrying in your heart that you would like to give up to this space. Both our joys and our sorrows, things we carry with us that are shared in the community. And you have this opportunity to have it spoken aloud, but the ritual is, for the most part, silent. I will first today, because it is time for our All Saints ritual. Annually, we remember the lives of those who we have lost in the course of this past year. And I will offer up those names, and then we will go into the space of joys and sorrows. But I just wanted to be sure that you knew that those blue slips are there. Your invitation stands, and you can drop them in the offering basket, or the usher will run them down to me if you wave it their way.
We now take an offering that allows us to exercise the all-important generosity of spirit and to support this church and its ministries. Donations may be made by scanning the QR code in your order of service, via text, or on the website. The gifts of the congregation will now be most gratefully given and received.
This is the time of year when we mark the ritual of All Souls and remember and name those whom we have lost from our membership who died over the last year since we have done this. After I have completed reading the names, I will invite you to speak names of those in your own lives who have been lost over the past year. After each name that I read from our membership, we will hear the chime. And then after all the names have been spoken, we will have a final chime and then enter into our period of joys and sorrows. And so, these are those that we have lost to death in the last year from our membership. Robin Maxwell. Gwen Rose. Marlene Umbright. Joel Reisman. Ann Thompson. I invite you now, as the Spirit moves, to speak aloud the names of loved ones you have lost.
My mother, Lavon Boggs.
Cynthia Grant Tucker. Aaron Lawson.
My Uncle Bob Shaltus.
Connie Lambert. Nancy Snow.
Ernie McCracken.
Aziza Sapan. Camille Briggs.
For these lives and those whose names remain unspoken, we give gratitude. This morning, we have shared here from Courtney a second interview for a job after applying for jobs since March. From Frank, last night we celebrated the 100th birthday of my dear mother, Beverly Formey Carrick. From Sarah, grateful for such a delightful Halloween weekend filled with fellowship of family, friends, and neighbors, cute kids in droves, and great music shared with friends new and old. Diane wanted to share appreciation for Reverend Lynn leading us at this time. Thank you. And this morning we have sorrows as well. Rachel, for the loss of a beloved great uncle who was a brilliant, irreverent storyteller. We will miss him. Sarah learned of the cutting down of an ancient magnolia tree at 1344 Faulkner in front of my family's ancestral home. Courtney offers prayers for all the suffering around the world, sending love and blessings that we can come together and learn to help each other. Richard, for the families put out of their homes this week. And from an unnamed person, happy birthday, Mom. I miss you. I'm grateful for all of the new faces and new encounters in my life over the past couple of weeks. Grateful for the visit of my sister from Chicago. We've had her most of the week, and she goes back home today. And grateful for the leadership of Matt Holliday taking on the lead in the Canvas team, and for all those who said yes when he asked them to join, and to Matt Young, who stepped up to operate the audio and sound for our memorial service yesterday. Grateful for all of the generous volunteer participation in this congregation. If you would like, I invite you to come now in silence to take a stone and release it into the cleansing waters of our gathered community. If there's something you're holding that you want to let go and you're not ready to come, it would be my great honor to drop a stone on your behalf if you will indicate by raising a hand. Please join me, if you will, for a moment of prayer as we gather our hearts and our minds and open our spirits. We call upon the source of life, our guide, our companion, we call upon the source of life for encouragement in this hour, for comfort. May all who grieve today know the comfort and peace of the presence of a living God. May all who worry today have assurance in the possibilities that lie ahead. May all who suffer loss find the relief, the healing that they need. And may we, as individuals and together as a body, live into our commitments in courage, love, faith, and gratitude. May it be so. Amen. Please join me now, if you would. Remain seated as we sing together number 123 in your gray hymnal, Spirit of Life. I knew we had a lot to do this week, so I probably wouldn't have a lot of time to talk to you, and I promise to keep it short. I don't want to keep you late. I kept you late last time. I'm really trying. But this is an important time in the life of the congregation as we begin this pledge drive, canvas, stewardship campaign. There's a lot of words for it. Some of them are more accurate than others, and we can talk about the semantics if you want, but I'm not really interested in that today. I love semantics, but not today when there's work to be done. So we remembered these lives that this congregation in particular, and your individual lives as well, these lives that were meaningful and impactful in our journeys and then left us, but left an imprint, left their mark as part of the great arc of the history of this congregation. But that history didn't just happen. People made it. People created it. And that is exactly what the pledge drive is about. I know you think it's about money, and it is. I won't lie. It is about money, but it is about money in a particular way and for a particular reason. I am not asking you to give to the church as a donation. If you read the newsletter, you've already heard this little twist. We are not the charity that advertises on the radio or TV or in your mailbox that says, send us money so we can do the work. That's not what we are. We are not the ACLU or the NPR or Covenant House or the Humane Society. Those are great things, and I encourage you to contribute generously, but that's not who we are. When we ask for a pledge, and you know, we have to do the pledges. It's an administrative necessity in order to create a budget. That's just an administrative thing. We have to ask you to predict how much you will be able to contribute financially so that we can promise people their salaries will be paid and cover the mortgage and insurance and all the things. But what we are doing here is not asking for a donation. We are asking for participation. Participation. This is not a body foreign from you, separate from you, that you send money to do the work that you can't do yourself. This is a contribution to the life of a body of which you, in fact, you are a part. A living thing. This is a living thing that depends for its essence on you. Showing up, helping out, and pitching in. So when we make the pledge and fulfill the pledge financially, in the same way that we show up at all the meetings month after month because we agreed to be on this or that committee, when we fulfill those obligations, we're not giving something to somebody else. We are building ourselves. You get to pick, all of y'all together, not one individual. Individualism is what gets us in trouble. So you might not get your way, but all y'all together get to pick what this church will be into the future. And into the immediate future, into the very next year, you pick right now. When I first got here a few months ago, I said we were going to try a bunch of different things. And they were all permanent. I come pre-fired. You can keep what you like. You can discard what you don't like. Totally up to you. But this was a great time for experimentation, to try things you have thought of before and never given a shot. This is a time to remember what it was back then years ago that you loved so much that you haven't seen lately. Maybe let's pull that up forward into the present. This is a time to think about what's the thing that the church up the road, what's Idlewild or First Congo or Neshoba or whoever doing that we want to do, or that we might want to do, but we're not ready to commit to. This is the time. But we live in this society, whether we like it or not. It is capitalism. Some of us like it, some of us not so much. Makes no difference. It is where we live, and that means that in practical terms, power is expressed in dollars. Power simply means the ability to get something done, and the way that you get things done in a capitalist system largely, not entirely, requires your effort too, but a very large part of power in this culture is money. So if you choose to join in this great covenant and take part in the life of this congregation that can become anything you want, financial pledge is a big part of how we do it. With an understanding that we also want to include and be welcoming to those who cannot afford any financial pledge and may in fact need financial support from others. So, bearing that in mind, that this is the community we want to create, it is incumbent upon us to do everything that we can to create it. I don't want you giving your money away to the church. What I want is membership. I don't mean the legal membership, the category who signed the book and who didn't. That's great. I love that. But that's not what we're talking about either. Membership, active participation in the body. Whether y'all online have been away for a while and thinking about it and checking it out, or whether you sitting here have been here for decades and put up with all the changes and reorganizations and crises, whether you just walked in the door and you know this is a place of liberal religion, but you're not sure it's one that you can really throw yourself into, no matter what your status is today. I want you, every one of you, even the ones that I may strongly disagree with, I want every one of you to have a voice in what this church will be going into next year, the year after, and your new settled minister after that. I want every one of you to have a voice. This is a place where you don't have to come with credentials in order to have status. It is a place where you don't have to buy your way in. You don't have to know somebody powerful. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to say, yes, I believe. This is a place where what we do is join in covenant to behave in certain ways with one another, to create a particular kind of community that elevates our spiritual ideals. And in order to be more, to be larger, to be the ideal presence in Memphis that Church of the River can be and wants to be, we got to go through this every year. We got to ask for the money. But I want you to remember, please remember, this is not a request that you give up something. This is an invitation to join in something that, if you choose, could be absolutely awesome. May it be so. Please, if you would, stand and join in singing number 1017, again in the paperback teal hymnal, Building a New Way.
Please join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice. As we extinguish this flame, may the spirit of freedom guide our actions. May equality be our constant pursuit. And may the bonds of community remain strong. May we carry the blessings of acceptance, loving kindness, and a grateful heart with us, that we may offer them to a bruised and hurting world. Thank you.
As we move forward out of this hour of sacred space this morning, I strongly encourage you to join us for coffee and nibbles over in the Mississippi River Room. I don't think we have enough just hanging out time together. Next week, we're going to have a potluck with Reverend Pearson's church together after service. But for now, in this moment, may the power of the love that is present in this room enliven and encourage you moving through each day and each hour in love, faith, and gratitude. Our service has ended. May our service begin.